Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play the Stanley Parable. I'm Lori, and we're going to begin right where we left off. Are you guys ready? We finished the confusion ending. Let's see what else we can find. Everything looks the same. In this closet, I wasn't sure it was here. I don't know why, but it kind of bugs me. Alright, apparently we're not getting in. Alright. I'll move on.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I vote that today we take it and follow the narrator, that we trust him. Because if we hadn't not trusted him the first time, we wouldn't have had to deal with the whole adventure line fiasco.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
R.I.P. Guess we can keep going through the next open door. Room closet. Oh. Well, hello. You open.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Up the stairs we go, I guess, because we decided to follow the narrator. One of these days we'll come back and see what's down the stairs. Executive bathroom.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This way? No, just a black wall that kind of looks like a corridor. Anyways, I guess we hit the big red button, like we did last time.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
So we've been mind controlled, is what you're telling us. Clicking the button.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
The catwalk we were
did
on
he
earlier.
pick the strength to find out?
Maybe not. Hey, I found another button. Button.
Now the monitors jumped to life.
Oh,
Their true
yep, it
nature
is. Look,
revealed.
here's our catwalk.
Each bore the number of an employee in the building. Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Oh, I'm gonna dismantle the controls. Mind controls idle. Awaiting input. So wait, if it's been mind controlling us though, where is everybody else gone? Did they just wake up and leave? Why am I still here? Why did I take longer to wake up? These games sometimes make my brain hurt a little bit too much. Done. It's done. And are we loading? No.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine. Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation,
what a happy ending with
the
beautiful
immense
mountains
possibility
in the
of the
background.
new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Yay! We found happiness! Good for us! Yay! Alright, so that's what following the narrator brings. So apparently we should have trusted him the whole time. Huh? back? No. Yeah, I never tried typing on this computer. If I type on my own keyboard, nothing comes up. Alright. So, what do we do now? Obviously, there must be other endings. Let's go find another one. Let's go back to our, two choices door.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So when we went right, we had that option. We had 2 options, and we took one. We never took the other. When we went left, we went to the boss's office, or we could have gone down the stairs. Let's go explore what was down the stairs. Let's go back to the meeting room. So many options.
Yet
so
there
little
was not
time.
a single person here either.
Yeah, I haven't
Feeling
really
a
read
wave
through
of
all
disbelief,
of this.
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
No, I don't see anything that would give us any clues. Since everything always is changing.
Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
I wonder if he'll say anything more if we do take our time. Let's see. Never thought to close the door. Nah, nothing. Alright. So let's
Coming
try
to
going
a
down the
staircase,
stairs
Stanley
today.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Notice that 4 is that time that was in the
what relief Stanley felt
lounge.
to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Whee!
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself. Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
I'm awake?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley.
The narrator's just
After
confusing
all,
me more.
He knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want
but
my
I don't want to
apartment
continue to push the
and my
buttons.
wife and my job.
I've never actually pushed
All I
any
want
buttons.
is my life
Those are just red
exactly the
buttons,
way
but-
it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything
not
will be
normal.
fine. I am okay.
And I'm still in the same spot.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have
Now
a
we get
boss. I
adventure
have an
music.
office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day
Oh, yay!
like any
A
other.
female character.
She arose,
Like me.
got dressed, gathered her
That never
belongings,
happens.
and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town
no.
talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Alright. Says the female I gotta find dead Stanley. Works for me. Alright, so we have found another ending. So we are up to 3 endings. So we're gonna go ahead and stop here. And we'll play some more in episode 3. I hope you guys have enjoyed hanging out with me and the narrator. I know he talked a lot this time, so hopefully I'll talk some more and tell you a little bit more of what I've discovered about the game. Catch you guys.